what's JVology all about? Profit was the last.
Yes.
Right?
People, fun, and profit.
People first, then fun. And then if those two happen, profit will usually follow. Like, you don't have to push all that hard on profit.
That's
People
all.
who put profit first are the ones who struggle the hardest because they're not putting people first. That wheel makes perfect sense. I think that there are probably people out there that shortcut it, or that want to shortcut it, or that are missing pieces. What would you say out of that wheel? Because I know a lot of people would think that the tech foundation is where they get hung up. The tech is pretty easy. Where's the main place? Because you've run this several times now. Where's the main place that people get hung up on the wheel? Like, what's the biggest?
So can I tweak the question a bit?
Yeah, of course.
So we categorize and help people to self-categorize, because it makes a difference on the wheel. So we have folks that we call they're eager and willing, and they're sort of new to this whole, let's call it digital space. They might have like a bricks and mortar store that they're trying to get online, those sorts of things. So they're eager and willing. And then there's what we call the ready and refining, meaning the tech is done, all the rest of it. They might be refining, trying to get better opt-in rates or a better show up rate or a better, those sorts of things. And then there is the experienced pros. So depending upon which category you're in, that's sort of what transpires. So the experienced pros, they want relationships and people. That's partners. It's all partners. The ready and refining are almost always stuck at offers that convert, meaning that I've got the pieces in place, but my conversions aren't what I want them to be, and partners aren't really beating the door down to come and do those pieces. And then the eager and willing are always stuck in tech and list. So each one of those stages gets stuck in a different spot.
That is a really good answer. So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper there, because I want a takeaway for each one. So if they're eager and willing and they're stuck on the tech piece and they're stuck on list building, I love the fact that you redefined what a list is, because that's something I do with almost all the clients that I work with. I'm like, it doesn't have to be email. You should be emailing, but you can have a million other lists. It's the group of people that you can influence. Yeah. So for that first group, for the eager and willing, what is one takeaway that you would offer them on the show that, like, if they're just trying to come up with some action to take to move the needle, what would you tell them to do?
Pay somebody to build and take care of your tech, for crying out loud. And if you're not going to pay somebody to take care of that, go get a job at McDonald's and flip burgers. You'll have more fun, because that ain't a fun job. Good God, and I'm going to pick on Russell for a minute here. In the same way as the personal development world is like, oh, you can have a different thought, and once you have the different thought, you'll never have the old thought again. Bullshit. In the same words, like, you're just one funnel away. No, in his own words, you were 2,800 funnels away when you know what you're doing and you don't. So for crying out loud, this do-it-yourself BS story of rags to riches and I can click 3 buttons is bull. Pay someone real money and have a real business, unless you want a hobby and you want to learn how to click buttons. If your objective is to learn how to click buttons, then do that. But for the love of all things good in the world, pay someone. Okay, rant over.
I think that is really good. I love ClickFunnels. I love Russell. If you're just getting started, my advice to you would be, I like ConvertKit. It's $50 a month to manage your email for you, and they have built-in landing pages that will convert. Not as well as ClickFunnels. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but you can literally build something by typing in a sentence. Download your PDF here.
Yeah, and Nathan, he and I are members of Mastermind Talks, and he's just one of the smartest, good people on planet Earth. Like, I just think the world of him. And ConvertKit is an incredibly great starting point. There's no question.
For $50 a month, it manages your email, so you can send email, you can have a list, and it will give you a simple opt-in that you can literally learn in 5 minutes. ClickFunnels, as much as they say it's plug and play, easy, blah, 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 it's not.
And almost none of them are by the time we get into the for us, the affiliate world. By the time you got to do affiliate programs, affiliate links, all of that whole setup thing there, honest to goodness, nobody should be doing that. And I don't know why, and I say this in the class all the time. It's like, okay, so if you were building a retail store, How many of you would go to Home Depot and buy a hammer and nails that you don't know how to use? How many of you would and I just list off all of the things that you don't have a clue how to use to go and build this beautiful space that you're going to sell your retail in. It's like, how many of you would do that? And they're like, well, we wouldn't do that. That'd be stupid.
Then why would you do it digitally?
Yes.
Same thing. I agree.
Crazy.
And the other thing that I guess I'll throw out there, you don't need a website. You don't need any fancy thing. Facebook page. You can build it in 10 minutes. And I know people whose entire 7-figure business is built off of a Facebook page and a Facebook group. They don't have a website. You can do it.
Yes.
Okay. So the second piece then, we've dealt with...
You're still going to ask me questions after I had that rant?
Oh, yeah. Rants are great. So we've dealt with the eager and willing. So now let's go into the refinement piece in the middle. These people are focused on offers. And this is... I agree. I think a lot of people get stuck here. They either overbuild and they end up with a product suite that's this big and they can't sell any of it, or they end up with, they can't figure out exactly what to make to convert. What's something that you would tell somebody that's in that phase?
Don't build anything. Sell stuff, attempt to sell stuff, get real feedback from real people who, by the way, the feedback isn't, that's a great idea. The feedback is, here's my credit card, and tell the truth. I'm in the process of building this. I have experience in this arena for this number of years. This is how this is going to go. You're going to get a wicked discount. You're going to get more access to me. You're going to do all of these things so that this fits and actually works. And when you have sold things, build them and over deliver. That's simple.
I think obviously that works. I think build, over deliver. If you tell somebody this is a beta program, you're going to get access to me, I will make sure that you get the set outcome. It's not free. We don't give away stuff for free. But if you take action and it doesn't work, I'll refund you. Yep. Because you should be willing to put that guarantee on a beta program.
100%. 100%.
If you do that, you can sell some people. And it's not about making $1 million overnight right now. It's about getting a result for those people, because then those people will give you testimonials. They'll become your raving fans. They will sell more people for you. They can be your first JV partners. A whole bunch of good things happen. And for people out there that are like, well, I don't know exactly what to build. I've got this thing. Look at your red ocean. Look at what is selling and offer to handhold people to get that result. You know that result sells. Just take them through your process to get there. That's what I recommend people do. You don't have to reinvent the light bulb or the wheel or any of it.
Mm-hmm. Ditto. And it just over and over and over again, I see people putting months and years of work into creating something that no one has actually said, here's my credit card for.
Right.
Like, stop that. That's insane.
Well, I think that comes, what I tell people when they have that problem, when they're like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm like, that is your ego speaking. You want to be told that you are great and that's a wonderful idea and you're solving all the problems. That is your ego. Instead, give people what they want, because that's all customers care about. That's why they give you their credit card. What's in it for them?
Honest to goodness, I had one of the, and it by the way, when I said I struggled in the digital world until that, this whole process I told you about, I was one of those folks. It's like, I've got a strong 7-figure business. I know how to sell. I know how this works. I'm going to take exactly what we have done in classrooms for the past, 25 years. I'm going to do that online, and it's going to be a higher level, more dignity, all those sorts of things. And of course, I burned money by the wheelbarrow full. So not so long ago, I had just talking about, and these guys didn't just build the program ahead of time. These guys actually, in Calgary, built an entire television production studio, the whole thing to shoot their stuff, to do all those sorts of things. And they were asking for some support in the joint venture world. It's like, you don't have a product that's proven yet. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Oh, but it's this and this. It's like, look, I need you to understand this, is that you are an unproven commodity who has already made the top 3 most ridiculous mistakes in this space. No one's getting behind you. Go prove it, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure you can't. But if you do go prove it, call me immediately and we'll negotiate something. But it's not something that somebody who just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a studio and 2,700 videos wants to hear.
Right.
And I understand that, but it's still the truth.
It is the ego. So, okay, those are the first two phases. Then you got the third people who are the pros. They've got a proven offer that's converting pretty well. They've got their list. They've got all their tech worked out. What would you tell those people? Because they're looking for partnerships. But my experience is, walking around some higher level events, sometimes people can be a little bit with their nose in the air. You know, that person's not good enough to work with me. How do you facilitate this?
In Nashville, it's like, oh, you only have a 2 comma club award? Yeah, no, we're at the 10X. Yeah, it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah. So how do you, what would you tell those people coming to JVology? Because JVology is a big event. It's not the 30-person summit yet. So what do you do with those people who are there, and how do you suggest that they get the most out of JVology? What's a piece of advice that you would give them?
So the Ready Pros, short version is this. Most of the Ready Pros know what's going on. And I tell them you're looking for, frankly, people who are on the stage, people who are sponsoring, and a couple of rising stars who are going to be in that community are going to make sense. Most of the people who are the Ready Pros who are at JVology Live are also hanging around to go to the summit, which happens afterwards. Okay, so it's a much smaller pool in that particular audience, and so we just manage the expectations that you're probably looking for the sponsors, you're probably looking for these folks, you're probably looking for those, and I'm happy to do some introductions. But going back to the other question about the nose in the air and those sorts of things, the culture of JVology is pretty Canadian, and we have a rule which I'm pretty clear and abrupt with, which is this: don't be an asshole. Because if you're an asshole, we're going to send you home. And this community knows one another. This community goes to one another's houses. This community holidays together. We are close. So if you're going to be an asshole, you're going to have to do that elsewhere because you only have one shot. And we actually, and I don't want to sound like we're bouncers, but there are about 5 people who are no longer welcome, who all would be movers and shakers in that space that we just won't have back. And it's like, can I buy stage time? No, for no amount of money. Your values don't fit. I got complaints about you. We're still cleaning up those complaints and you'll not be back no matter what. But we could make great money. Your money isn't worth anything if you're an ass.
Well, what were the three pillars that you said? What's JVology all about? Profit was the last.
Yes.
Right?
People, fun, and profit.
People first, then fun. And then if those two happen, profit will usually follow. Like, you don't have to push all that hard on profit.
That's
People
all.
who put profit first are the ones who struggle the hardest because they're not putting people first.